While coming down the driveway this afternoon, I didn't see any chickens out in the yard, so I immediately knew something was wrong. I began to walk on the property, and it didn't take too long, and I found a pile of rooster feathers. Not far from there was my dead dominant rooster. Against the chicken run, a bunch more feathers, and I found a dead whiting true blue hen. Something had been at the house while I was gone. I found my other two roosters and a handful of hens hiding in the coop. I guess they left the dominant rooster outside to battle whatever it came down here. As far as I'm concerned, that rooster was a hero. He died protecting his flock while the other two hid in the coop. Well, that's enough of the bad news. Let's go look at some good news. Well, here's the good news. All 14 of the chicks that we hatched in the incubator are doing well. And when I stopped by the feed store, I went ahead and picked up 10 more of these little brown ones. They're the supposed to be Easter eggers. Unfortunately, it's getting a little bit crowded in there for that many chicks, so they're going to have to find a new brooder. Plus, I've got 16 more French black copper Marron eggs in the incubator and 6 olive eggers. And it looks like there's about 8 more days before they're going to be hatching. Those chicks are currently in a stock tank in the house, but I've got a better place for them. I got some construction work going on across the street. Looks like I'm going to have some new neighbors. I think I have everything I need with the exception of the heat lamp and the chicks. I forgot to get those pine shavings. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Hopefully this knife's sharper than no knife at all. There hasn't been any chickens staying in here for quite some time. The flock has got so small that they've all been able to sleep in the other coop and run down behind the house. This is a really large area for those little chicks, but I have the automatic door coop coop door set where it don't ever come up. So they should be safe in here. I don't think nothing's gonna dig in and get them. Nothing's ever got in here in the past. All right, I think that'll do. This drinker has a thermostat in it. I don't think it's gonna be cold enough to need it turned on, so I'm just gonna fill it up and set it in there just like it is. All right, that's most of the way full. I can figure out how to get this thing on. Just gonna set it right here on this block. Just like that. Feeder hadn't been used in quite a while. Gonna have to be down there almost on the ground. Or maybe on the ground, that way they can reach it. If they start kicking it full of pine shavings, we'll do something different. Brought this up here to put some grit on. I got a little feeder. I put the grit in it. If they start kicking pine shavings in that food, I'll go ahead and put it up there with the grit. This is grit for chicks, not for adults. It's ground down a whole lot smaller. But when they decide they need it, it'll be right here for them. And I still think there's room to put the feeder up there if we have to. What's all that? I just noticed my little cup that I was dipping the feed out with fell in there. I got everybody following me around the yard because they know what time it is. Throw some corn out here. Maybe I'll keep them occupied and out from under my feet while I get extension cord drug out for that heat lamp. I'm going to run this extension cord for the heat lamp somewhere here toward the top. Not exactly sure where I'm going to place it at yet. I think I'm going to hold off on putting them chicks in here tonight. I'll finish this up in the morning and get them chicks in there and we'll see what they think about it. I'll see you in the morning. Well, it cooled off overnight. Got some rain coming in. It's supposed to rain for the next 3 or 4 days, I guess. I like to get the chicks out of the stock tank and get them out of the house today. I'm going to zip tie this extension cord up on the inside of the hoop coop just to get it up off the floor. Ideally, I'd like to have it hang straight down above the heat lamp. Let's take a look at what I came up with for that heat lamp. So I got the heat lamp chained onto these brackets. It's chained on 3 different spots. Got it coming up, and use this D-link to attach the chain to that roost bar. I just wrapped the extension cord around it a few times so it's not hanging down. Let's get it plugged in, see if it works. See a red light down there. Whoops. There we go, that's better. So we got some heat in here. Still got a few other things we better take care of before we move them chicks up here. I've still got to get a lot of these openings closed up on the hoop coop. I say I got rain in the forecast. I don't want rain blowing in here. And even with that heat lamp going, it's not going to keep it warm in here with all these openings, letting the wind blow in. I found some leftover clear plastic sheathing. I'm going to hang up, try to cover these openings up. Takes care of that side. Right now I'm not too concerned about this opening, so we'll go around back, see if we can't take care of that opening. There isn't anything along the very top, at least right in here, to nail into. I do have some wood right here, and I'm going to use these feed bags because I didn't have enough plastic. I'm going to try to stick this under the edge of the tarp. I don't know how long that'll last. Get another feed bag. I'm going to go ahead and find some tape. Tape up the seam where I couldn't nail it together. It's really starting to warm up. Taping it up just to try to keep the wind from catching it and blowing it off of there. This one's stapled down behind it, so hopefully this will work until the chicks are just a little bit older. Alright, so the back is closed in. Here's what it looks like from the inside. The front's closed in with the exception of that little opening at the top. I do have to have some air in there. Got a little bit of heat lamp, got some feed, got some grit over there, and some water. I think it's about time to gather up some chicks and introduce them to their new brooder. So I've saved you the mayhem of trying to catch these chicks, but finally got them all caught. Let's go put them in the big brooder. Don't know if these little guys are going to come out on their own or if I'm going to have to help them. We'll give them just a couple minutes, see what happens. Oh, went back in. I'm sure they'll find that food and water as well as the heat lamp. Won't take them long. Now we can finally get that stock tank out of the house and get it cleaned up. Get it ready for the next batch of chicks. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch you next time here at the It'll Do Homestead. Have a good evening, everybody.